Hello, and welcome to another edition to Bobby's Podcast. If this sounds weird, it is. It feels weird for me because normally this guy is the leader of whatever we do together, but we're doing the podcast right now. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you
such nice to just have you do something for once. Because I worked with you for 8 years.
That's right, and I added no value to the show.
You were making TikTok videos.
That's true, I was. Now I have to for income. How the tides have turned. But Woody is still on the radio. He's thriving and surviving. He's doing middays on Peak FM. Show starts at 10. What kind of stuff do you do? Because I have not listened. I'm just kidding. No, I have. He's very good on the radio. He's a solid radio job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Years of experience. You know, I pull up a few stories every day. Not as many as we used to do.
Guilty as charged.
We did about 5 pages of show prep every day.
It's exhausting to do a morning show.
There's so much work that goes into it. And
with middays now, you kind of have like a...
Yeah, there's less to prep for, so
Right.
I just try and make the most of it.
A lot of the feedback that I hear from Peak listeners is that you've just kind of checked out.
Yeah. And they talked about that in the Gazette as well.
Woody Powers leaving?
There was a big write-up about it.
Question mark. No, you do a great job.
I think the headline in the Gazette was, "There's a lot of dead air these days."
Literally. No, we digress. I just thought it'd be fun to have some fun topics like we used to do on the radio. And let's take it away. Do you know this story about this woman who credits TikTok for helping her find her first boyfriend at 42 years old?
Yes, I do kind of know this story.
Well, I've got some copy points, so
Okay.
we'll get into it.
Yeah.
So a Utah resident, I'm guessing she's Mormon. Her name is Mia Shard. She's crediting TikTok for helping her secure her first boyfriend at the tender age of 42. She went on several dates as a teen, but nothing panned out until she began using the popular app. A lot of people have met through social media. Mia's videos about the stigma of being single soon caught the eye of 40-year-old Max. He sent her a message, and they dated for a month before becoming exclusive. Mia says, "He feels like my best friend. I wish for my younger self to have had the ability to separate my insecurities from that."
But to live for 42 years and never have a boyfriend.
It's strange.
A little bit, but...
It's like the 40-year-old version.
Yes. I guess she just never connected with anybody.
Which is very common.
I guess.
You know,
yeah.
I speak to a lot of my younger friends because I'm in my 30s. I'm just kidding. I'm 44.
I feel like a Price is Right game. Higher? Higher?
Lower? No, a lot of my younger friends are on all these dating apps and social websites, and it can be tedious and monotonous, and just the quality of people, like it's so hard to, like, how do you find a real life connection with somebody that you've never really talked to?
And to do it over TikTok, to have somebody just comment or reach out to you privately and say, "Hey, we should go out on a date." And I'm guessing they probably don't live near each other. I think they've just been communicating over the internet.
I mean, it could be the case.
But I know they've been dating for about, I think you said, what, a month?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just think the whole thing is a little bit, I think it's tough. And my heart really goes out to anybody who does have to be in this climate of dating, because if it was me and I was single, I would just stay that way.
Yeah. Although I will say being in their 40s, they have a lot in common. They are going to wonder if there's going to be enough Social Security for them when they retire.
That's right.
They can talk about going to Applebee's together.
That's right.
They're going to both experience achy joints and pains, and they can complain about that.
Can I tell you what my red flag is, though, but hearing about Mia?
Okay.
Is her whole TikTok was dedicated to kind of the woes of being single.
Yeah.
So already to me, that comes across as negative. So the fact that Max slid into her DMs is like, well, I'd like to date you.
Mm-hmm.
I think he missed some red flags. It's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, meeting over TikTok in general probably is a huge red flag.
Yeah.
But if it works out for him, because it works out for people in stranger ways. And so you kind of hope that it works out. And it just makes you wonder, where are they going to go from here? Because obviously, if they're going to get real serious, they're going to have to move in together. Does he move to Utah, or does she move to, I don't know where he's from, let's say New Jersey?
Sure.
And is she going to enjoy it?
The state smell. I don't know. The jury's out. I mean, I don't know if you've met somebody on a dating app, feel free to weigh in the comments. My best friend, Greg,
Yes.
Greg and Bonnie, they met on Tinder.
and they've been together now for 12 days, and it's working out really well for them.
No, they're going on a decade.
Yeah,
In
that's
fact,
amazing. They're an amazing couple.
I officiated their wedding.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I've done several weddings.
As a matter of fact, I know you need the money. You should really kind of open up those opportunities.
Bobby's Popcasts and Weddings.
Yes,
Has a
I
ring
love
to
it.
it.
I mean, you've already got the ring light, so the lighting's there, and then yeah.
Could I count on you as like a wedding singer or DJ?
Well, you don't want me as a singer.
You know what's crazy is working in the radio world for so many years, people automatically assume because we were radio DJs, they assumed that we were wedding DJs.
Yes.
And every time we'd have to tell Peak listener or just a radio listener in general, hey, we're not, we don't do that kind of wicked.
I had to tell that to my wife. I had to explain it to her. So years ago, she's in the
She's
National
like, so
Guard.
you can't play music or...
You don't know how? Years ago, there was this younger couple in her National Guard unit, or it was just one person. They were getting married.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, can Woody come up to Longmont or something like that,
Yeah.
Greeley, and DJ our wedding? And she's like, yeah, I'll talk to him. And
She committed you already?
she tried talking to I'm like, Elisa, I don't do weddings. And not only that, but it was on a Monday for some reason.
Wow, who gets married
I
on
know,
a Monday?
it was very strange. So I'm like, I really can't fight through Denver traffic. I don't even have any equipment.
That's the thing. Radio DJs and professional DJs are not like the same. They have
No.
professional equipment, actual, laptops and sound systems and lighting typically.
I
And-
ruined two people's weddings because I was recruited as a DJ through a mobile system that was run through the very first radio station that I worked for.
Really?
Yeah, and she goes, hey, can you do this wedding? And I was nervous, but I needed the money.
I
and
didn't know
said,
this. This is like an exclusive.
Everything was on cassette tape, and she had everything marked so that you
Oh.
knew where the counter was, and all this equipment. And it was before technology, and I apparently didn't have a pencil, and I didn't write the right time down, and I showed up like 45 minutes late.
So as they were walking down the aisle, come on, baby, let's do this.
And so I said, I'm never doing this again. I can never ruin somebody's wedding again.
I like that, and I appreciate that. And keep in mind, radio DJs are not the same as event DJs. So
Yeah.
be kind to your local radio personalities. I have to ask. Let's do a squirrel moment.
Okay.
What's the worst song to play at a wedding?
Worst song to...
Because we've all got the best wedding songs. From This
Yeah.
Moment, Shania Twain.
Right.
Butterfly Kisses from some country guy that I don't know.
Right. Okay. So there was, I can't think of his name. He is a rapper. It is Ice-T, and he used to have this song called "The Girl Tried to Kill Me."
Okay. You think that's a bad song?
That's a bad song. Yeah.
See, and I was going to go with Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones.
That's another good one too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Feel free to put in what you think is a horrible song for a wedding. As always, thank you for listening and watching another episode of
My
Bobby's.
teeth look so good with this light.
I gave you a filter. This is why I miss doing a show with this
I
man.
know. I miss this guy.
Because our humor is authentic and we just had so much fun. But now we still get to do it. So
Yeah.
hopefully you'll be another guest on the pod as it expands and gets blown up and all
I
that
have to
stuff.
check my contract to make sure it's okay for me to be on this.
Oh, you're fine.
Sure.
You're fine.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
I won't. It'll be fine. It'll be
Okay.
fine. You can catch me at Bobby's Podcast on all major socials and wherever you get your podcast streaming. I'm on iHeartRadio, Amazon, Spotify, and this just sent Apple Podcasts as of a couple weeks ago.
And he's sponsored by NeilMed, the name you trust in nasal allergy spray bottles.
If you're stuffy this allergy season, go with NeilMed.